Alright guys, here we go. We got our Autel AL539B. This machine is bad. And if you really want to know the benefits of this machine and how to really use it, if you get one based on our recommendation, check out our new channel, Autel AL539B. And the B is for yeah buddy. And I'll put a link in the description below to the channel. Alright, let's see what we got. We got a P0171. One of two. And a P0174. Okay, P0174, System 2 Lean Bank 2, and 171 is System 2 Lean Bank 1. Alright guys, I'm going to quickly go over this and explain to you where these codes from, why they happen, and what we need to do to fix this. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, what I'm showing you right here is a picture of an engine. Yeah, this is one side. This is cylinders 1, 3, 5, and 7. You need a good look at that, or you need me to pick it up? And this side is 2, 4, 6, 8. Matter of fact, to make this legit, let's put a fan on the front. That looks good. Like a flower though. And that's for the front of the engine. So this side is considered bank 1, and this side is considered bank 2. Now let's see what happens. Now,
that's the way it is on this engine?
Well, I'm not sure which side is bank 1 and bank 2, but that's...
this is for your explanation.
That's wherever cylinder 1 is, that's bank 1. So if the cylinder 1 on this side, this will be bank 1. Alright, let's see how we're going to explain this real quick, guys. Make this look good. Alright, now, on this engine, you got your intake manifold, you got your oil dipstick tube, you got your valve cover gaskets, and all that. All that should be sealed off. And actually, some of you guys, if you notice, if you pull out your dipstick, you're going to see a little O-ring right there. That's to stop air from coming out of there, because that can contribute to 171 or 172. Now, 174, that's right. So if you got a P0171...
What in the world?
Yeah. I'll make this one better.
Is that Chinese?
Okay, so 171 is a leak coming from bank 1, and 174 is a leak coming from bank 2. When you get both of them together, that means you got a leak somewhere that's affecting both cylinders. Now, what does we mean by this? Now, your computer has what's called fuel trim. Don't even worry about the name of it, but what it does, it's going to monitor how much air and gas is coming into the engine, and what the computer does is compensate for it. It tries to keep both of them. If you got fuel and air, it tries to keep both of them at the same level. Now, if you have an air leak over here, let's say if this one is running from 0 to 30, and this one's running from 0 to 30, and let's say at idle, it's measuring right here. As you get an air leak, say if you pull out the dipstick or have a valve cover gasket leak or a leak on the intake manifold, you got more air coming in. So now, that meter rises. So what the computer does, okay, we're going to give the car more fuel to keep them even. 30 is the limit. So if you got an air leak that's going past this 30 mark, the computer's going to come up, it can only go up to 30. And it says, wait a minute, I still cannot get this to even out. Bam, we're going to trigger that code. That's pretty good. This is
Sure.
Any questions on that?
No.
All right. Now, you got the other way, guys. Going the other way is I think it's 172. 172 and 175 or 176, I don't know, which is going the other way. If it senses not enough air or too much fuel, it tries to equal it out by the air. Then you get a different code. So our thing is, now we have a problem with both cylinders here. That means we got so much air coming in from somewhere. It could be a vacuum leak, something. So much air is coming in through this engine that the computer can no longer compensate. So the first thing we want to do is take off the cover and do a visual inspection. Get this out of the way. We're going to pop this cover off. And what we're going to do is go around and find air leaking anywhere pad. Now you can have it on this one. Now if it had a mass airflow sensor, if this one had a mass airflow sensor in between here, you would want to check any kind of air leak from this point going to the engine. This one don't. So even though this is off right here, that's not going to cause a problem. It's got to be a leak from here on out. So we got.
How do you find an air leak?
That sometimes it's very easy. What you got to do is go around and check all the hoses. Like that's a little bit loose, but that's not really gonna cause it too much. And here's the oil dipstick, and that one wasn't really pushed in all the way. And actually, there it is, like I was telling you about. See a little O-ring right there? If that O-ring is dry rotted or broken or off, you're gonna get air leak coming in, which is computer's gonna try to compensate for that. But that wasn't in there all the way. Now it is. But this, will it affect both sides? Yeah, it is going down to the engine, but it would. So we're going to be looking for an air leak that's going to be affecting both banks.
So I have a question.
Okay.
Oh no, never mind. Never mind.
Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is grab us a light, and we're going to look around and see if we can find some leaks. So let me grab a light, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, what's good about this engine is not too many vacuum lines and all of it. The only thing I don't like about it, it's got a plastic intake manifold, which the gaskets, sometimes they suck. So the number one thing right here is back here, we have our brake booster, and here's a main vacuum line that's going to the back of the plenum. You can't see it back here. And I'm just, oh, you might be able to see it on this side. You see where my hands are? Mm-hmm. Okay, it doesn't feel loose or anything. So that's good. Any kind of vacuum lines that's connected to this intake, we want to see. Any kind of oil leaks, anything. And like right now, that's kind of dry rotted. No, this is dry rotted. And I know if I move this is gonna break. So I'm just feeling around for any cracks. And I do not see anything. Now this is where you come across a problem, guys, because for a DIYer, you're gonna have to either take it to a repair shop to have them do a smoke test. And what that is they'll blow smoke through the entire system, and any kind of leaks, it'll come up. There's also cheaper ones that you can buy online. I heard of people actually making smoke machines at home, which is pretty cool. Wish I would have saw that before we spent the money on buying one. Alright, so we visually do not see any kind of leak. So what we're gonna have to do is do a smoke test. So let's get our smoke machine, get everything set up, and I'll show you what we're gonna do, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, let's get ready to hook this up. First thing we need to do is get us a flat screwdriver. You know what, we're gonna unplug our air temperature sensor. Loosen up this clamp. Take this off, because we need to block that off. Wow. And we're gonna introduce our air through here. Man, that's kind of, we need to push that on, make sure it's tight before we do that. Now, usually, a lot of times what I like to do is go by through the brake booster. But sometimes your air leak can be coming from the brake booster. So that would kind of suck. So we're going to do it right from here. Alright, we got our smoke machine over here. And what we're going to do, first we got our, hook up our power, going to the battery of the vehicle. And then we got our caps here. And we're going to find one. Let's put this to the side. We're going to find one that will plug up. Oh, that right there, that's good. And plug that off so air won't leak out of there. So let's get our machine hooked up, hook up our air line to it, and get ready to do a smoke test. We'll be right back. Alright guys, let me explain to you how this is going to work. Here's our little nozzle that's going to shoot the smoke out, and here's our trigger wheel. Now once I hit it to trigger it, trigger button. See the smoke coming out of there? Now what's going to happen is that this machine is going to blow this smoke all throughout the intake, and we're going to find out if there's a leak. We look for leaks for the smoke coming out. Now, this machine has a little ball on it right there. So, now we'll get this together. When I hit the button, notice the ball goes all the way to the top. As the leak closes, that ball starts dropping down. As I close my thumb off, all the way till there's no leak. Go back up. Alright, now that we got that, we're going to take this, we're going to stick it into this hose right here. We're going to make sure it's firmly into there. Let's get our trigger, and let's go over here. First we're going to go over here and watch the machine. Alright, so let's click it on. And as the system builds up pressure, you can see that ball continuously drop down. And it looks like it's hanging out. Oh no, it's still going down. Is it hanging out there? Well, looks like it's still going up. Let's go over here to the engine and look around. And we look for any kind of smoke coming from anywhere.
Is it only gonna be under the hood? Can it be anywhere else in the car, or under the car, or?
If there's like the evap system, if that was, it would come out of there. If that wasn't working right, but we would get an evap code.
Oh.
But we're not, and we're not seeing no smoke. And this is I'm gonna show you what I mean. But we're just gonna remove this cap. See that? So let's close that back up. And we're going to let the system build up pressure again. Now, again, the funny thing about this is that when we first started, we noticed that our oil dipstick was not pushed down all the way. And that can cause a problem. Let's see. No, I didn't. Now this is what I mean by the oil dipstick. The oil dipstick was partially up. So you see that? Now it was down there like that. But even down there like that, it's not leaking. I'm going to see if it does. See if it builds up pressure. Let's go check out where our machine is at. Hanging on about 3.
It's tiny.
It's a small leak somewhere. So we just gotta let the machine stay up here until we can find something. We'll be right back. Alright guys, look at this. Look at all this smoke coming out. And it's coming from the EGR valve. The EGR valve has a diaphragm and a pintle inside that should be closed right now. No air should be leaking whatsoever. And because it's like this thing should have a little rough running condition as well. This is a major vacuum leak right here. And actually our meter went down to 2 and then it just started coming back up right now. Let's look at our meter. That's high. So we know we got a leak at the EGR. That's one. Now what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go beyond the Call of Duty here. I am gonna take off those two bolts, disconnect this line, and we're gonna try to plug this line up so we can eliminate the EGR valve and continue on with the smoke test. So we'll be right back. Alright guys, first of all, let's unplug it. Got this little safety tab right here. We just gotta back that tab up. Just like that. Squeeze the connector, the little tab in towards the connector, and unplug it. Get it out of the way. Now, it looks like it's held on by two 8mm or 5/16 bolts. I'm going to use an 8mm deep 1/4 inch drive, and I'm going to go in here. Get this bolt out first, since this is the hardest one. And then I'm going to go over to the other bolt. Be right back. Alright guys, we're taking out the second bolt. You just notice there's a gasket between there. So we want to make sure we don't drop that gasket. Of course I'm going to drop the gasket. Watch. Okay. Now up here, it just pulls out of the plenum. Oof.
What is up with that?
It's carbon, and there's our smoke coming out. Now what we're gonna do here, guys, let's keep this out of the scenario, and we're gonna get something to try to plug up into there. So let's find something and we'll be right back. Alright guys, Siri recommended we use this piece. That was cool. See how she's thinking? I like that. I like to have somebody working with me that can think. So what we're going to do is...
Too bad Billy Bob's coming back.
Yeah. We'll wedge that in there. And we got the end of it plugged off. And let's hit the machine. See if looks like we still got something going on here. Let's go up here and look around. So we're going to let this run now for a little while and try to locate another leak. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we had a little mistake over a minute ago. We had took the adapter out and put a spark plug in here because it was leaking through here, but we couldn't see it, and this thing was bothering the mess out of us. So we stuck a spark plug in here, and we still got an adapter hooked up into here. And as you can see now, we're way down there. Look at that. No leaks whatsoever. And that's with the EGR valve out. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put the EGR valve back in and retest this and see if it comes up. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we got it going back in. It's kind of windy out here. Now here's the weird part. Now, we saw in the beginning, this thing was smoking like crazy out of here. I don't know whether because when I put this together, I hit it and the pintle closes. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. The pintle closed all the way or something. Maybe it was jammed up a little bit. But look at this. There's hardly any smoke coming out of here now. And trying to see if we see some. We saw a little bit.
I see a little bit.
But if we go over here and look at the machine, look where we're at. We are way down there. And we know, we saw in the video, we saw that it was leaking out of here a lot. So as I said, maybe when I was taking this off, maybe because I was up against it and hit it, maybe the pintle was open a little bit or something or whatever, or I have no idea. but it was smoking like crazy. And look at that, it is hardly any smoke coming out there at all. You want to say something?
Well, they probably think we're crazy that we see smoke, but because you can't really see it in the camera, but we can see it.
But not like it was before.
No.
So, we're going to sit here and we're going to call this, tell them it's an EGR valve. And that would definitely give us both of those codes. Alright, we'll be right back.